Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Every time I heard someone say AI agent, my brain immediately went to that sci-fi robot with the glowing red eye. HAL 9000? The kind of thing that exists only in the future, or only for some Stanford engineer who eats matcha ice cream at 6 a.m. and has opinions about programming languages I've never heard of. But that's not what this is. It's way more boring than that. In the best possible way. An AI agent is basically a program you tell to do a task, and it figures out the steps, uses whatever tools it has access to, and delivers the result. Think of it like hiring an intern who never sleeps, never asks for a raise, and doesn't care if you make them redo everything at 3 a.m. The difference between an agent and a regular chatbot? A chatbot responds. An agent acts. You ask ChatGPT, "How do I get clients?" And it gives you a nice little list of tips. You tell an agent to do that, and it goes to LinkedIn, pulls leads, writes a personalized email for each one, and sends you a report of who opened it. While you were asleep, while you were watching Netflix, while you were doing literally anything else. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, isn't this for big companies? Don't you need an engineering team? Doesn't this cost a fortune? No, and it depends. But probably not. Let me show you where most people get stuck. People come in with the right idea. I want to automate this. I want to make money with this. And then they Google it, fall into a sea of articles talking about multi-agent architecture with asynchronous orchestration of LLM-based tool calls, and they close the tab in about 10 seconds. It's the same problem as wanting to learn how to cook and landing on an 800-page French culinary textbook. The thing looks impossible because the description is insane. But in practice, you just needed to know how to fry an egg. The right question isn't, how do I build a complex AI agent? It's, what problem can I solve for someone that they're already paying to solve some other way? That changes everything. Let me give you a real example. Simple enough that it almost sounds fake. There are people making money with an agent that does exactly one thing. Monitors brand mentions across social media and generates a daily report summarizing the sentiment of the comments. That sounds small. But medium-sized companies pay someone to do this manually every single week. That someone copies and pastes posts into a spreadsheet, reads through all of it, writes a summary, sends it by email. It's tedious, it's slow, and they hate doing it. You automate it. Charge $300 a month. Get 10 clients. Do the math. You don't need a super intelligent AI for this. You don't need expensive servers. You need a simple agent, a search API, and a language model to summarize. All of that already exists, all of it is accessible, and most of it is free or close to it. Here's the actual roadmap. Step 1. Pick a repetitive, boring task. Not an interesting task. Boring. Because boring tasks are the ones people most want to hand off. Market research. Document summarization. Email triage. That kind of thing. If you try to solve interesting problems, you're competing with tech companies that have 100 engineers and a catered lunch program. If you solve boring problems, you're competing with a tired intern who's been doing it in Excel for 3 years. Step 2. Don't build anything from scratch. This is the classic mistake. Someone wants to build an agent, so they immediately decide they need to code the whole thing from scratch in Python. Could work. But it'll take weeks, and you'll quit before you ever talk to a single customer. There are tools that let you do this visually, with drag-and-drop blocks, no code required. You connect the blocks, define the flow, and the agent exists. You can test something in 2 days. Code comes later, if it ever comes at all. Step 3. Sell before you build. This sounds wrong. It's the most important thing I'm going to say. Before you spend weeks building the perfect agent, go talk to someone who has that problem. Could be a business, a freelancer, a clinic, a law firm, any kind of operation. Tell them what you want to do. Ask if it makes sense to them. Ask how much they pay. If nobody wants it, you just saved yourself weeks of wasted work. If someone does, you have a client before you have a product. And now you build with real pressure, real feedback, and it'll probably be way better than whatever you would have built alone in a vacuum. Now the part nobody talks about. Building the agent is the easy part. The hard part is making it work well enough that someone actually trusts it. Because at the start, it will mess up. It'll summarize the wrong thing, pull the wrong data, do something weird at exactly the worst possible moment. And it's tempting to keep tweaking it forever until it's perfect before you show it to anyone. Don't do that. Launch it imperfect. Let the client test it. The errors they find will be the ones that actually matter. The errors you find alone at 2 a.m. in your apartment are usually not. There's a saying that sticks with me. If you're not embarrassed by your first version, you launch too late. Okay, but how much money are we actually talking about? Depends on how much of a problem you're solving, and for who. An agent that saves 2 hours a week for a professional who charges $200 an hour. That agent is worth, in their head, at least $1,600 a month. If you charge $400 and deliver that, you are literally the best purchase they'll make all month. And here's the thing that separates people who make money from people who don't. Don't try to sell to people who don't have much of it. Not because helping those people is wrong, but because the effort is the same and the return is completely different. Mid-sized clinic, growing e-commerce brand, independent consultant, small law office. These people have the problem, they have the money, and they have real incentive to pay for a solution that actually works. One last thing before I wrap up. You don't need to know everything about AI to start. I know it feels like everyone already knows more than you. Like you'll get into a client meeting and someone will ask something technical and you'll just freeze. But the truth is most of your clients won't ask how the agent works under the hood. They'll ask, does this solve my problem? How much does it cost? When can we start? You don't need to explain how the engine works to sell someone a ride. Start simple. Solve one small problem for one real person. Adjust from there. The technical knowledge comes with time. The confidence too. The money, well, that one's on you to go get. If this made sense, you already know what to do next.